Now, if you're looking to create a post-purchase flow inside your Klaviyo account, this doesn't have to be hard. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to set up a post-purchase flow in Klaviyo, the events that trigger the flow, the conditional logic that you need to understand if you're dealing with a first-time purchaser or a repeat purchaser, and also some of the delays that we need to consider when building this out. If this is your first time here, my name is Chris Coronado. I'm the founder and owner of Pro Emailers, where we help e-commerce brand owners generate an extra $25,000 to $150,000 of additional monthly revenue utilizing email marketing. So if you're a brand owner that hasn't got started with email marketing, but you know you should, or maybe you already have your email marketing set up and it's just not generating the revenue you know it should be, just reach out to us using the link in the description below. We'd love to kind of walk through your system and see what you have currently set up and help you generate some more revenue. With that being said, let's jump into Klaviyo. All right, now that we're in our Klaviyo account, the first thing we need to think about is how many other flows do we have set up inside of our account? A lot of times, most brands have at least a core 5 set up. So that might be your welcome flow, your post-purchase flow, site abandonment, browse abandonment, and maybe abandoned cart. Those are some of the flows that most people actually have set up in their account. You're going to see that I have a lot of different flows here. We're going to ignore almost everything, but I'm going to take you to an example of what a post-purchase flow looks like for us and what we create for most of the brands that we work with. So I'm going to jump into my post-purchase flow. All right, now that we're in the post-purchase flow, you're going to notice that I have no activity here. This is just where we build for our clients. Now, with that being said, you're going to notice a few things in this flow. The first thing you're going to really see here is you're going to have the trigger. So the trigger is the event that happens on site, whether that's a user goes to the site, whether that user browses, puts something in their cart and abandons. Each event is going to be different, but the event that we're going to use here to trigger this flow to start is the place order event. Shopify already has that when you integrate with Klaviyo, and it makes it super easy for us to create these events. So the event that we're using is the placed ordered event. You're going to notice that we have allow re-entry set. The reason we have this is because a user has the ability to make multiple purchases throughout their life cycle as a customer. You'll notice also that the triggered filters and the profile filters, we don't have anything selected. The reason that is, you might actually need to have this set up depending on what other flows you have. The reason we don't have them set up, the way we set up our other flows in our system, they actually account for post-purchase. So once a user makes a purchase, they are immediately thrown out of some of the other flows that might cause redundancies. But for your brand, if you don't have those protections and safeguards in your other flows to protect against multiple emails going out at the exact same time, you might have to set those up here. We don't have those set up because we have that protection in other flows. So that is the event that happens on site that triggers the flow to kick off. Right now, we have a 1 hour delay. You'll see that we have a wait period of 1 hour as a delay set up. The reason we don't have this going out immediately is because Shopify already sends a transactional email once the purchase happens. So there's a separate email that goes out immediately after the purchase from Shopify that has the transactional details. Those details might be the product name, the full price, a discount, whatever you paid, also maybe the last 4 of the card that was charged, and then also shipping information so that you can track the shipment. We are not going to send that out through our Klaviyo account, but since in this build we don't have that set up, we're going to use Klaviyo's post-purchase as the secondary follow-up outside of the transactional. So we have this set up to 1 hour. Since we know Shopify is going to send it immediately after, we're going to wait 1 more hour before we send a post-purchase email to that user. Now, as we scroll down, you're going to notice that we have a conditional split here. This logic is asking one specific question. Is this user a first-time purchaser or are they a repeat purchaser? That means, has this user purchased this? Is this their very first time ever making a purchase from us? Or is this their second, third, fourth, fifth time making a purchase with us? Depending on that user, we're going to deliver 2 different types of messages for them. If they are a first-time user, they're going to go down a first-time user's path. If they're a repeat purchaser, they're going to go down a repeat purchase path, which is typically shorter and the messaging is a little bit different. The way we make this happen inside of Klaviyo on this conditional split, we make this happen by setting up some conditional logic. So what we do is we set this up to say, if a person has placed an order and that value of the number of orders they place equals 1 over the entire lifetime inside of our system, then that means they've only made 1 purchase ever with us. And then we're going to tag them as a first-time purchaser. So these users that equal this, that means they're going to go down the yes path because they equal 1, they are a first-time user. If they do not equal 1, then they must equal 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and beyond. So they're going to go down the no path, and they're going to be considered a repeat purchaser. So that's what this logic is doing here. It's very simple, but if you don't do this correctly, you could actually mess this up and have users constantly going down the yes path and not going down the not going down the no path as a repeat purchaser when they should be going down the repeat purchase path. So just keep that in mind when we're building this out. This is how you want to have this set up to identify users that are first time purchasers or second time or repeat purchasers. Now we have two different messages here. The first message that we have is a first time purchase email, and the second time and a repeat purchaser's email. This first time purchaser email looks a little bit different. All we're doing in this email is pretty much saying thank you. We're giving them a little bit of context on why the brand that they purchased from is a great brand and letting them know that there's some social proof behind us saying that. So we're pretty much saying thank you here in the subject line. And then you're going to notice it's just a bold, no CTA header. Hero section. The hero just says, thank you for rolling with us. This is a rolling paper brand. And then we give them a thank you. We say, we appreciate you. And then we're going to highlight why we are a good brand, what's so good about us. And then also giving them a little bit of social proof to say that we're not just saying this, others are saying this as well. So it's very light. There's not really much, there's not a whole bunch of heavy CTA actions here, getting users back to site. The goal of this is just to say thank you and then give them a little bit of context on what they just bought into. Now, the difference between the first time purchaser's first email and the repeat customer's first email is going to be subtle differences. So let's open up this email and let's scroll down. Since we know this is a repeat purchaser, the subject line and pre-header are going to be completely different than a first time purchaser. And we want to say good to see you back. Now, the messaging in the hero section is also going to be different. Good to see you back. We want to thank them for being a repeat customer, and we acknowledge that they're a repeat customer, and we want to say thank you again. Now, the content in the email itself is going to be a little bit more driven to make a secondary purchase. So what we're going to do here is we're going to give them complimentary items that go well with the purchase that they just made. And also, these items are just small cross-sell items. They're not large purchase items. They just made a purchase. Let's give them an opportunity to make a secondary purchase down the line, or inform them that we have other options that pair well with theirs that they might not know about. And then another secondary at the footer of the email. Since we know that they're a repeat purchaser, a good idea is to give them other ways to save. Since we know that they like to purchase from us, the goal here is to help them save some money. So these bundle and save options actually help the user understand that there's more products for them out there. And if they bundle their purchases, they have the ability to save some money. So that's all this first email is doing. And you're going to notice that inside this repeat purchaser's journey, there's only one email. We don't need to bombard customers that have already made multiple purchases. They're familiar with the brand. We don't need to spam their inbox. However, with the first time purchaser, we want to nudge them a little bit to make a secondary purchase. We're thankful that they made the first purchase, but the idea here is to nudge them and show them other opportunities to make a secondary purchase. So on the second email, what we do is we actually have between the first email and the second email on the first time purchaser's journey, we have a 3-day delay. This is very standard. You could do this to 4, 2, 5, but you don't want to really send this back to back. So we put a 3-day delay here, and then they'll receive the secondary email. Now, this secondary email, this email is going to be a little bit more driven to make a purchase, and you're going to notice something that's very familiar that we just talked about. You might also love these. This is another cross-sell email that we're putting in the post-purchase to let them know that, hey, there's some other options that go well with what you've already purchased. Now, this is almost identical to what we have in the first email for the repeat purchasers. It's the same modules. It's just light, subtle cross-sells that they could purchase that are very inexpensive to what they just purchased compared to what they just purchased. It's just a small cross sell to make them a repeat customer and get back to site and make a small purchase. We're also highlighting the bundle and save section here as well. So this is almost identical to what we said in the repeat purchase because we're trying to inform them about other products that we have and other ways to save. Now, between the second and third email in this post-purchase flow, we have another delay. Now, this delay looks really big. The reason we have it so big is because these users have already made a purchase from us. We are excited that they did that. We don't want to fatigue our user base that are actually making purchases. We want to be smart about how we send and when we send these users. So we put a 10-day delay here. I recommend staying 10 days. You can definitely do 8, you can do 12, you can do 5. Test it out with your audience, but most users are going to hover around this delay period. The third and final email that we have in our post-purchase flow for the first-time purchasers is another email that says thank you. This one isn't going to be a standard cross-sell email. This is going to be a very light thank you. And also, if you have questions, here's how we can support. The reason this is such a light email is because by now, the user has already waited 3 days from their first email when they made the purchase, 3 days plus an additional 10 days. That's almost 2 full weeks since they made the purchase. So we know that they've already received their purchase. 9 times out of 10, there's no delay in the shipping. So we know that they've received their product, and we just want to say thank you. And if they have any questions or any concerns with their product, there's a way for them to reach out to us. We want to give good CS experience. We want to make sure that the customers have a good positive experience with the brand. And if they're not, we want to resolve that. And then also some more social proof. We want to let them know that they've joined a community and they're in good hands when they purchase with us. So that is the third email. It's nothing, it's not really sales driven. The idea here is to sprinkle in some cross-sell opportunities, but to educate and say thank you in this post-purchase flow. So what you'll notice is that we have 3 on the first-time purchasers journey, and we have 1 for the repeat purchasers. I would not be against setting up a secondary email in the repeat purchasers, and also I wouldn't be against setting up a 4th email in the first-time purchasers flow. It's really tailored to your brand and what you think your list can handle. You'll notice if users are unsubscribing around 3 and 4. If they start unsubscribing, please remove that 4th and 5th email that you have here. You don't want your users to get fatigued and get burnt out just after they made a great purchase with you. They're excited about what they purchased. Don't burn them out. So I hope this video was helpful for you. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'm always reading through anything that we have down there. I'd love to help. And if you're an e-com brand looking to get started in your email marketing journey and making some more revenue, let us know, book a call. We're glad to check out what you have going on and help you make some extra money. With that being said, thanks.